Anybody's watching right now, we're doing a test to make sure we can understand how Google Hangouts is working and making sure anybody that's around can join on here. So just bear with me for another about 5-6 minutes, and we're going to try to make sure everybody can be a part of this Hangout tonight. Let's see here. We're still waiting to see if anybody can get in. My apologies if this is confusing. When I used to use this, it was actually quite easy and fun to use. So I am very, very sorry for any inconvenience this is causing. Is there a spot for chat, Alex? Let's take a look here. In mine, there shows there is chat. So let me see here. Test 1, 2, 3. Is that popping up for you anywhere? I know that we're chatting on Facebook and trying to do this at the same time, but I just... We had some issues last night doing this, so I appreciate anybody who's joining right now to kind of help out, to kind of make sure this is working or not. I see that I have one viewer on here. If you would like to join, I can actually invite you. Let's see here, is that the link to share? I'll actually post this link up in here. In the chat feature, if you're in the thing, you should be able to click that, and it should actually send you straight to the Hangout. And it says you're about to join it on air. It's going to give you some information like that. So feel free to join. I think up to 10 people can actually join the chat feature, and your video should pop up on here. So we'll see if that works. And if not, I apologize. But there should be a chat and a Q&A feature. And if that doesn't work, what we'll do is we'll just field questions off the Facebook group or private chat, and I'll answer those like that. I do have a beer. We are going to have a little bit of fun. Wife's not out of town. She's just with a friend. And if I do have to get up for a second, there is a pizza guy coming. So I may have to grab my pizza. You see, I eat really well. Alex, I'm talking with you right now, trying to make sure. I'm going to send you a link that should actually allow you to actually be a part of the chat, so you can actually see your video and everything on there. Maybe that's the case. I'm not 100% sure why this group chat isn't working. I'm not sure if it's only within Google Hangouts on Air, which could be the case, which would make a lot more sense of why everybody's having issues with this. But there should be a Q&A feature too that should work, so you can try that too. But I just sent you a link that should allow you to log in and actually be a part of that. I know, Robert, I've sent you one too. And I think there's one more person, I gotta look at my list here, who said they'd be interested tonight. Case, I'm not 100% sure why. Oh, okay. We got some people on here. Alex, I see you have popped on here. This group. Hey, Alex, how's it going? Google Hangouts on Air, which could be the case. Well, now I'm talking and it's weird. More sense of why everybody's having issues with this. But there should be a Q&A feature too that should work, so you can try that too. But I just sent you a link that should allow you to log in and actually be a part of that. I know, Robert, I sent you one too. And I think your question and answer is working, so you should be good to go. Okay. Let's see here. I'm messing with some features. Okay, let's see here. Chat seems to be working. Alex, yes, I can see that. We also got Q&A. I appreciate you guys helping me out here figuring this stuff out. Now that I've seen kind of what the issues are, I'm understanding that the chat feature is only for those who are actually part of the Hangout itself. So, Alex, I have you muted right now, but if there was ever anything you wanted to talk about, I could pop you on and you could actually be a part of it. So that is one feature. Right now you're a little blue guy. I can click you over there. I know Scott is using the Q&A feature because I've seen him on there. So, Scott, feel free to go ahead and post as many questions as you want. And I don't know if Robert's on. He was talking to me in the Facebook group. So we'll see if he gets on here or not. But if not, it'll just be a little short, little impromptu hangout. I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys have. That's pretty much it. I'm going to drink a beer, answer questions, and kind of go from there. So if you have anything, shoot, and I will go and answer them. Scott, I can see that. You are good to go. And I can't respond to you, but through the video I can, so I can see that, and you should be good. Let's see here if we test Alex's audio real quick. Alex, can you hear me? Okay, Alex can hear me. We're good there, so fire away with any questions you have. I will try my best to answer them as best as I can. And yeah, that's what we'll do. And then whenever you guys are done, you guys can head off and have a good rest of the evening. But I just thought it'd be nice to do a little impromptu hangout if you guys had any burning questions that I could answer for you. So it looks like we got here, Alex, how is Q4 going so far? So far, I have actually seen an uptick in sales over the last about week and a half, and it's going pretty well. It's nothing like when I was doing some of the dry shampoo that I was sending out, but it is actually picking up, and I expect it to kind of pick up as we go further into the quarter. The interesting thing that I'm doing is I bought a lot of products I'm expecting to go out of stock as we approach Black Friday and Cyber Monday, especially in frozen. I was approved in frozen, so I'm buying a lot of those products, and I'm waiting for those to sell. And they're currently priced about double what the regular listing is. So I realize that they're not going to sell right away, but I'm hoping as the holiday season comes in, I'll be able to sell more of those. And I keep getting shipments. That's what I was actually doing right before this. Actually going through my shipments and processing them to send them off. So it's going well. I expected to get a little bit better, but it does have a little bit to play with the fact that I'm speculating on a few items that I think are going to rise, but I'm not 100% sure. You have a lot of people, and Alex, your comment that you said, it makes you feel a lot better. From what I can tell in the Facebook groups, you have a lot of people trying to kind of hype up Q4, and I think it's going to get really, really busy. But I also think you have to kind of think of it as that Q4 in retail world goes from the start of November to the end of January. You're going to have those returns in January, but a lot of people are going to have those gift cards that they want to use and actually buy what they want for themselves. So it kind of extends into that fact, and I've seen that uptick in the last few weeks, but I expect it to keep going further and further. So I hope that kind of answers your question a little bit there, Alex. I'm glad that your strategy is kind of similar to mine. This is my first Q4 that I'm going through, so I think it's a good strategy. I'm kind of using old pricing history to kind of determine a lot of what I'm buying, and I'm kind of forecasting with the ads that I'm seeing. One nifty thing that if you aren't already, I would highly recommend becoming an affiliate. And we have Robert trying to get on here real quick. Okay, Robert's watching. Feel free to use the chat feature, Robert, in Facebook or post on the group, and I'll pull your questions in because it'll notify me when you do that. But Alex or anyone who's listening, what I would recommend doing is becoming an affiliate for like Walmart or Target or Amazon. You get a lot of nice emails that show you the deals that they're getting ready to release, even though you're not technically supposed to use that information to benefit from it. It's information that's out there and other people are doing it. So you're going to be able to at least see kind of a little preview of what's going to be highly advertised. You can kind of jump on those products, the regular public can go out and jump on them. So that's kind of just a little bit of randomness that you may be able to have. Yes, I do sign up. You can just sign up for them. You can use LinkShare, which is a Rakuten system. There's Commission Junction, and there is also just the Amazon. It's called Amazon Associates. And when you guys see all the links on sometimes on the Facebook page or on the website, most of those come through the affiliate program, and I'm actually putting them on there. And what happens is, so anybody that doesn't understand how affiliate programs work, every time someone clicks the link, Amazon drops a cookie on your page or on your web browser. So what really essentially happens is it's going to track a little bit of your history. As an affiliate, any purchases that go through that link within 24 hours get credited to me making the sale, or whoever the affiliate is. So they kind of cookie them, and then you kind of go from there. So it's a way that you can track some things, and at the same time, you can also, it makes a little bit of money. Currently off of the site, I made about 30 bucks, and you'll see some sites that will actually, like Fat Wallet and Ebates, they actually give you a portion of that back, and that's how they make their money. So, like for instance, if you're an affiliate of drugstore.com, you get 8% cash back off of any purchase that is made. You'll see on like Fat Wallet or Ebates, they'll give you 4%. So essentially what's happening is they're getting 4% just for giving you 4%. And I apologize if you hear the cats that are around here. I got one cat who loves it when I talk to come up here and see what I'm doing. But that's how the affiliate programs work. And being a part of that affiliate, they kind of give you those deals that you can share them because they're trying to advertise those deals. And thus you kind of get some inside information that's not that inside, but you at least have a little bit better view on some things than other people do. So, Robert, I hope I've answered your question about what the affiliate is. It's somebody who gets paid to advertise products for a website or another company. And there's multiple sites like LinkShare, Commission Junction, Amazon Associates that will actually allow, or Commission Junction and LinkShare will allow you to advertise for multiple people. So I'm an affiliate for, let's see here, Walmart and drugstore.com, beauty.com, and Amazon. Those are the 4. So if you ever see links from those on the site, I always put an A next to them so you know they're affiliates. But I honestly, the majority of the people that go through the site, besides the brand new people, know that they can do stuff that is like Fat Wallet or Ebates, and you can actually make money off that. So I hope that answers your guys' question. What do we have next? Let's see here. We're done. We got that from Scott. Anything else? Robert, I'm bouncing back and forth to see what you've got here. Yeah, so that's kind of that side of the story there. If you guys were watching last night, while you guys think of other questions you may have, and I'll share anything. There's only 3 of us or 4 of us, and I know this is being recorded and probably published on YouTube, but I mean, it's good information and I'm happy to share. So if you were with me last night, I did make one snafu during my presentation, or my question and answer last night. The question was asked about bundling in UPCs, and I started talking about multi-packs. And my dad corrected me today. He said, hey, Chris, when you were talking about that, you were actually talking about the wrong thing. So A multi-pack is when you put multiple of one SKU into a bag or some sort of package and sell that as a unit. So that is a multi-pack. A bundle is when you take two different SKUs, stick them together, and sell it as that. So that was my mistake last night, and I was talking about it, and I realized today that I was incorrect on that. So if you caught me, I apologize. I'm hoping that I can correct it. But then I was also talking with my dad, and there's kind of a way that I didn't even realize I was making bundles without having to go through the whole process. So I'll share that with you guys as kind of your little treat for the evening. I know Robert's. Robert, I'm getting to the sourcing wholesale. Hold on. Let me finish this one and I'll go there. But the bundling, I kind of was accidentally doing it without actually doing it. So what I've been doing is I've been sending all of my inventory in as single SKUs to Amazon. So they just all go in there and they're sitting in the warehouse. What I've been doing to bundle is I actually list bundles as merchant fulfilled, and I'll actually use the fulfillment by Amazon or the multi-channel fulfillment option to create orders when they sell merchant fulfilled. So for instance, I bought this product from a wholesaler here in town, and it was a range of shampoos. And what I do is I have listings on those in the bundles. They have like 4 different types of shampoos together. And when someone buys them, what I actually do is I go in and kind of create the little order for them on my inventory that's in a warehouse. And I pay the shipping fees through there, which are not typically too high, and I ship it straight to them. But I charge a lot higher price for that bundling portion of it. So I've been kind of doing that, but that's really important to note that when you do those kinds of things, make sure your margins are high enough, because the stuff that I have, I bought it for like $3.50 and it's selling the 3-item bundle. I think I have $5 invested in inventory and it's selling for about $99. So I have a lot of margin to play with to be able to do that. I really haven't delved into bundling of different items into different packs yet. I assume that's something I will do moving forward, but I just don't do that currently. Scott, I see your question. I'm going to go to Robert's question here real quick. And I see that, Robert, you were purchasing UPC codes for a couple bundles last night. I've never done that. I've never actually sent in a bundle that's been pre-packaged. I've always sent in them individual, and I've had it merchant fulfilled from there, but using the FBA services to do that. I know it's kind of strange, and I need to probably look at the rules of that. I didn't even realize that's what bundling was. So I hope that makes sense. On the thing of wholesale, my word of advice there is going to be make relationships. And I know you've probably heard that from other people as well, but that is actually how I have gotten into the wholesaler that I purchased from. What happened was so this wholesaler has a retail establishment. It's kind of like their goods that are about to go out of expired or anything. It's where I got that dry shampoo at. It's a mix between like a liquidation side on one place, and that's where you can see some of the items. Then they have a wholesale operation in the back. So when I was buying my dry shampoos, I was actually talking with the lady who was there, and she started asking me, why in the world are you buying all of this stuff? She thought I was very creepy. So what ended up happening was I actually talked with her enough that she told me, hey, you call me anytime, you give me an item that you see in one of our stores, let me know and I'll tell you if we have them in bulk. So that kind of connection that I made with her, I now have her cell number. If there's ever an item that I find when I'm in one location and I want to know if she has multiple units of that, actually just give her a call, say, hey, Sarah, I saw this item that was in here, and I wanted to know what you guys have in stock. And she goes, well, we have 200 units of that. I can cut you a deal of about $1 a unit. Are you interested? I go, yes, and I go pick it up the next day. So that is kind of how I got into wholesale. I haven't really expanded upon that a whole lot. I'm still kind of testing the waters, and if you read my last income report, you'll notice I had a real big kind of learning curve when I started out buying a whole bunch of products from a wholesaler on the liquidation side, and it was kind of a mess. So I still have about 7 SKUs that are wholesale that are sent in currently, and I'm looking to expand that as I kind of go into 2015, hoping to bump it up to about 20 to 30. but knowing me, I'll probably go a little above and beyond for that and get it up to about 50 by the end of the year. So it's about relationships, and then once you get that relationship, realize that they're in it to make money, but you're also there too. So never try to like barter them down to a point where it's going to be ridiculous. But at the same time, make sure that you can cover your margins. It's a product that's going to sell very well. When I did this, I did a lot of research. I wanted to make sure that my product that I purchased had a sales rank under 10,000 because I wanted to move a lot of them very quickly. So that was kind of where I'm there. But for you, you may have a different comfort level, but that's kind of how I got started. The only thing I question about what I've done is I do like to use the storage services provided by the fulfillment services, but at the same time, I do worry that it's going to take a little over a year to clear out this inventory, and I'm hoping that I'm not getting charged those long-term storage fees. So I'm still trying to kind of figure that out, and I'm wondering if it would have been better to hold back some of the inventory before sending it in, or buying it in smaller batches from the wholesaler and seeing how that works. So that'll be to come. We'll see how I figure it out, but that's kind of how I got started, Robert, and I really focus on a product that has a steady price history and a very steady low sales rank. So I hope that helps. Scott has asked, Chris, do you use a repricer? If not, will you be changing your prices a lot? Currently, I get, and pardon my language, I get pissed off at repricers sometimes. I've tried one for about a week, and I just didn't like it. Too many rules to set up. I know you can make a lot of money, and you make a lot more sales using them. It is not a technology use. I just kind of like to have a little bit of control over that, and as much as I use technology, I'm not a fan of giving all my control over to it. So I don't currently use one. Since I am actually working at a company that allows me to be on my computer all day, I usually reprice items in the morning and before I leave for the time, or for the end of the day. So I'm repricing twice a day. If there's a product I'm looking to move really quickly, I'll reprice it more often as I go along. And I know that there's some great repricing software tools out there. And I used to work for a software company back in the day, which means like a year and a half ago. But I'm just not reliant upon that, especially when it comes to the pricing of those products. I know I can probably make a lot more sales that way. There will probably come a time when I do it, but I literally right now scroll through, check the product pages of ones that I'm unsure of, and then kind of just see how those prices go. I do get very frustrated when I find someone that has a repricing software, because you'll know, I mean, they always drop like a penny lower than you. So sometimes I do get in battles with them, and I get very infuriated, and kind of my anger takes the best of me. Sometimes I just like to lower a price real quick, see if they'll follow, and that kind of gives me the notification that I've got to wait because their software is going to kind of take control and keep matching me. So I kind of use not those tricks, but those techniques to see who's using those systems, and then kind of make sure that I price accordingly to that. See, looks like we have someone trying to join the Facebook group right now. So are there any more questions? I know this is really impromptu, and I apologize for that. My wife was getting her nails done, and she's out to dinner, and I'm waiting on pizza. So instead of just packing my life away into Amazon boxes, I thought it'd be a good idea to answer some questions if there were any. But yeah, I'm an open book. If you have anything else, I'll hang out here for another 10 minutes or so, but I'm happy to answer them. Alex, am I doing this full time? Currently, no. I actually work a full-time job that is 45 hours a week up in Indianapolis. I live about an hour away from there. So currently I work, if we want to be honest, about 11-hour days. And I do this in the mornings, in the evenings, and I also do it on the weekends. So, and go Colts. Now, I'm glad you're a Colts fan, but even though I'm from Indiana, I love the Packers. Grew up that way. But Colts would be my second favorite team. The only time I won't cheer against them or cheer for them is if they're playing the Packers, and that is my only exception to not cheering for the Colts. But I don't do it full time. Honestly, if we look back at when I got started, March, when I started doing the Amazon sales, hold on, I'll answer that question in a second. I saw it pop up. When when I was running a small digital media consultancy agency. So I was actually doing that full time. It was going so-so, but then we had an offer to actually purchase our company from us and bring us in full time. And about that same exact time is when I started doing the Amazon selling. So if I would have had about another month, I probably would have been pretty optimistic about it, and I probably would have just jumped in full time and continued to do this. But right now, I really enjoy my job. The only reason I would ever leave is if I felt as if this is a very, very secure, and I think it is, but if I felt like I had a grasp on all the processes to make sure I can make money pretty easily with that. And I find that I'm making good money now, but I would like to kind of take it up about triple to what I'm doing right now to make sure I can support myself and my wife, and when I have kids as well. So that's kind of where I'm looking to build it. But currently, I work at the other job. Since it's digital marketing, I do a lot of purchasing online there. So that's why I do a lot of online sourcing. That's why I see a lot of the bolos posted throughout the day or information around that. But I kind of get the best of both worlds. I get paid to do this, and I make money off of doing this. And we're actually pitching to a client right now, allowing me to set up an Amazon store and their products. So it's just an interesting mix of everything. So, and just so you know, Alex, I'm from the Newcastle, Indiana area, so about an hour east of Indianapolis. I grew up there, I went to Ball State, came back and just bought a house in Newcastle, foreclosed property, and I have been redoing it ever since June. So, hope that kind of answers your question there. Let's see. Very cool. Let's go to the question and answer here. I saw John and Robert, I saw your stuff. Mac, what do I think about Nexus 6? I have no idea what you're talking about, to be completely honest. I can take a look into that, but I don't know currently. So my bad on that, Mac. So we'll say that's done. Let's see here. We got Robert asking, do you coupon for products? No, probably should, but I kind of just go in and scan stuff and hope for the best, or I do a lot of online arbitrage, so I don't coupon. I think you can make a lot of money if you do it correctly. There's a guy in the online selling experiment named Jim Hybeck, I believe, and he was in John and I's Bolo group that we started. But he has great examples of how you do couponing and actually get paid when you leave and you make money off the products. It's really kind of awesome, and I think that it's a really cool thing if you have the time to do that. John, have I ever sold cereal? Yes, I have, and I think currently I have some Captain Crunch Halloween cereal that I shipped in, and I think there's 2 that are reserved that are getting ready to ship out. So yes, I have sold cereal in the past, and hope that answers your question. We'll go back to Robert real quick. Yes, I have found a ton of products that don't sell, and they're probably still in my inventory right now. One other thing I do is when I have products that don't sell and I just cannot get them to sell, or the price points where I'm actually going to pay Amazon to take them, what I do is I actually pull them back and I donate them to a local charity because I have no use for them and I can't really sell them. I'll check eBay to kind of see if there's any other options there, but typically if they're just a no-go, that's where they go. And I also, my damaged products from Amazon, when I was doing a bunch of the shampoo stuff, I was sending items off, and then I was realizing, if you read my income report, that they were bad. So I actually donated about 700 dry shampoos to a local women's shelter, and they're kind of there for them. And I warned them up front, some will work, some won't, but they were very happy to have them, and they were very excited. So let's see here. Yeah, but Jim is really cool. He was in the group, really knows his stuff about the couponing. So if you ever have questions about that, talk to him. We'll go over to Brian England here. How much inventory is from clearance items and how much is bought at full retail? Currently, we'll go with about 60% of my items are bought online through sourcing of those methods. Typically, I find about half of that on sale and half of it not. Anything that is in the retail side of it, If we're going to look at breakdown, I probably have about 60% of clearance, 40% full retail. My full retail stuff tends to be in grocery and a few items in like health. I do have a line of items that I buy exclusively. I guess not exclusively, but I do have a line of items that I do sell that are bought at full price in the beauty category, and I sell them for almost triple what I buy them for. It's just something that I found and I really enjoy and I like. So I do have those, but I would say a good percentage is about 60 to 70% is clearance, and the other portion of it is items that are full retail that I'm buying. Scott asked if I'm insured and incorporated. The answer would be yes. Really interesting way that has happened. Since I was running when I ran my small business and I sold it, the way it worked is I didn't technically sell the business. I sold my book of clients. So it was anybody that I was doing social media, digital marketing for. So when I did that, I was able to keep my business insurance. I just got it switched over for the retail side of it. And I was already an LLC. So I actually already had all that done along with my accounting done before I started doing the Amazon stuff. And what I do is I basically transitioned it over to the Amazon side so that I didn't have to redo it all. So yes, I am an LLC. You actually see that on the email blast. It's Hosky Consulting LLC. Obviously, no one does consulting when they're selling items. That's just the name that was legal or on my articles of incorporation, but I did get that. So I hope that kind of answers your question there, but yes, I am insured and incorporated. Let's see here. I got comments going in. Gotta look here real quick. Make sure I'm catching everything. Georgine, I am apologizing. I've got to figure this out for you. Is there a question and answers feature that may be on the right-hand side? You can also just post your stuff in here. I think, see, Alex posted a link for you. And I know you've been having issues with this, especially last night. And that is my bad. I've really got to figure out how to do this a little bit better. I've done these in the past, but I've never actually done them to kind of a live audience. They're always kind of a way to do this stuff. So I'm going to try to figure it out, and I apologize about that inconvenience. So that's my bad, and I'm going to figure it out so that we can kind of do it from there. Next question is from Alex. He said, have you ever sold Oreos or candy canes? If so, did you prep them, prevent them from getting crushed, etc.? I have tried to avoid those because I was told that they get crushed and everything, which is probably the first sign that I should have sold them, because I am assuming that since it's a hard thing to do, that is typically where you can make a lot of money at. I have actually sold 2 packs of Oreos. Haven't had any issues with those yet. They were actually the pumpkin spice kind that were on sale at my Meijer, I believe. Actually, they were full price. I just bought them and hoped that the price would jump when they went off of the shelves, kind of playing supply and demand. But I can't really talk about how I prevented them, etc. I have used to avoid those double everything, which is probably the... Okay, taking care of that. Georgine, it seems like you're coming in. I think there's a chat feature for you now. See if that works, and if it does, fantastic, and if not, my apologies. We'll try best here. So, yes, on those Oreo side of it, that did happen, and I do hear my UPS guy out there right now. Nice part about living out where I do, UPS guy comes at like 7 o'clock. Georgine, I am so glad that you're with us. I'm going to actually, look, there's you. I'm glad you figured it out, and I'm going to pull your video down so you don't have to, because I'm assuming you probably weren't ready to be on camera, but I'm glad you figured it out, and I'm going to keep working on it to figure out why everything keeps happening like this, to kind of perfect that as we move forward so that people can ask the questions and kind of go from there. So let's see here if there's anything else on the Facebook page. Okay. How did I prep my Oreos? Actually, to be honest, I stuck them in the box, and I put a bunch of bubble wrap around them, and I said, we'll see how this works and hope for the best, because I've heard a lot of people talk about prep. I thought I'd send them in unprepped and see what happened, and so far, so good. It may come back to haunt me in a week or two, and I get told that they are smashed, but currently, everything's been good. They have actually sold, and I haven't had any complaints. That could change. Won't hold my breath on it, but it was a small test. If I was going to prep them, I'd put them in a box with some either like packing peanuts or some sort of bubble wrap in there to kind of protect them there. But I do know, and Georgine says she hasn't had any problems with them. But that's literally what I did. I stuck them in a box and made sure they were all okay, and figured that would give it a try. Just kind of what I did there. I know that's probably not the advice you were looking for, but that's what I did. You'll notice a lot of what I do, if I don't know how to do something, I just try it, see what happens, and figure that if I make a mistake, I'll just add it to like my tuition jar of everything I've paid for. I couldn't probably have, if I lose $3 on a pack of Oreos to learn that there's a more proper way of doing something, I'd happily pay that $3 to make money later down the road. But that's kind of how I think about it. And so sometimes I make mistakes and I send stuff in not the way it should be. But once I learn, I kind of take that knowledge and then improve upon it, and it kind of makes it really nice for me. Let's see here. Any other questions that I can answer? I'm happy to. If there's anybody else left on the Facebook group that's just chiming in, or anybody that's on the Hangout that wants to see if it can work or wants to ask a question. But if not, I'll stick around for just a little bit to see if there's any more. But I appreciate you guys joining me, and I hope I'm at least able to help a little bit. I'm not sure. I never know. A lot of the stuff seems second nature to me since I've been doing it for a while, kind of immersed myself with it. But I know it's not that easy for everyone else. So sometimes I talk about things and I kind of look at it like, really, that question's being asked? Then I have to sit back and go, would I have asked that question a week or when I first started? And usually the answer is, yeah, I would have. So that's why I try to make sure I answer all the questions as best as I can. So if there's any more, you're welcome to ask them through chat, Facebook, or the question and answer feature. And if not, I'll stick around for the next 5 minutes, have a sip of beer, and answer if there's anything that comes up. Okay, the last thing I'll talk about, while anybody's just thinking of a question you want to use here, if anyone read my income report from August, which I know I'm behind because I started and I was trying to write everything up, you'll see a big part of my post about these dry shampoos. They are my arch nemesis from Depth's End, and I have tried. I actually made a lot of money off of them, and I'll give you the real quick story on them. If you could hold on 1 second, I've got to get my pizza. I'll be right back. Howdy. Thank you very much. You too. My apologies for running away. Literally did have a pizza sitting here, and the UPS guy's out there loading up the boxes, so it's just kind of nice with that. But these dry shampoos anyway, I'm sorry for the delay, I found them for $1.50 a unit at a liquidation warehouse. And at $1.50 a unit, I could sell them online for about $16. And I bet they're still on there right now. You can look chlorine dry shampoo with oat milk. I spent a lot of time looking at those stupid bottles. But I was able to find them, and there was actually 16,000 units at the warehouse. So quick math, when I got back, I could make about $150,000 if you sold them all. That included extra time for shipping and returns and a bunch of other stuff. So I was really, really excited. We went in, and I had my old business partner from my former business, and we decided we'd buy 1,000 of them. Bought them, sold them within a week and a half. It was fantastic. And bought another 1,000. Started realizing very quickly that there were some issues with them, and I have fielded about 150 returns, and I'm still getting returns to this day. It seems to me when they were shipped, some of the things would actually leak, and the gas inside would actually get into the box, which is really surprising because we had to pack them a certain way to get them shipped, which I will never suggest anyone do aerosol ever. But we were having issues with that, and these people would receive cans, and they'd question me about why I sent them these cans that were empty. And finally, I just got to the point of saying my distributor, my wholesaler has sent me bad items. I'm going to issue a full refund. I apologize. And I ended up still making about $7,000, $8,000 off of these dry shampoos, but it was horrible. What we ended up having to deal with was we had to hand pack every single one of them, special shipping regulations. I did get boxes that were the correct size so I could lower my shipping costs. It was just a mess. You can actually read the whole story on the FBAmaster.com. I kind of go through it, but that was where I jumped into something too quick with full research. And I did a small test batch. I should have done a small test batch. Got so excited I bought 1,000 of them, which is never what I want to do again. So always start with that small scale, bump it up to a little bit bigger, and then go from there. So I hope that helps. I am full of stories of products that failed miserably, and money that I've lost, or things I have done that are stupid, and that's why I'm here to share, because my stupidity can help you guys. Anybody that's been doing this or wants to learn how to do it better, or stuff that they don't know, can actually make it even that much better for you, because you don't have to make the same mistakes and lose the money that I did, or beat your head against a wall going, why in the world would you do something like that? So that's kind of why I share these. You'll see a lot of those stories, because I find that mistakes make better learning opportunities than anything else. But that's the Hangout for you. If there's anything else, I'll be on Facebook. Feel free to add me as a friend and shoot me some questions. I am always happy to help. I can't guarantee I'll get back to them ASAP, but I will try my best. And if you are still on the list of receiving your free bolo from the website, I had a very overwhelming amount of people that have signed up for the list, which is fantastic. But I am having to kind of portion them off each day, so I have the time to make sure I give them a good deal and not just send them one. So I appreciate your guys' support, and if there's ever anything I can do, let me know. I'm going to mow down on this pizza, and I hope you all have a good rest of the evening. Cheers. See you all later.